I made the potentially insane decision of deciding to get into the Legends of Heroes series, and I'm gonna talk about that a bit. See, let's just say it was a bit of a whim after watching some YouTube videos that caused it to happen, and so off of a decision that I'd kind of wanted to do for a while, to be totally honest, I ended up deciding one day to, pick up Trails of Cold Steel 1, and also, like, a few days after that, Sky first chapter, but you know what, I'll talk about that. What this is some very simple late-night ramblings where I'm just gonna talk for a few minutes and just kinda talk about what this has been so far. See, a few days ago, I finished Trails of Cold Steel 1, which I'm using as the little background footage for this video. Don't frickin' worry about watching this. I'm not gonna suddenly switch to gameplay footage or anything. Just click off, go to another tab. I don't really care. Just listen to this in the background if you must. And having finished Cold Steel 1, and now being about 6 hours into Cold Steel 2, meanwhile, I'm partway into the prologue of Trails in the Sky, I just kind of wanted to talk about it so far. See, I kind of went into this, I haven't gone into Trails totally blind, opposed to some people. If anything, it's probably smart that I didn't go in completely blind. That probably would have just not helped, at the least. It's more like I couldn't really go in blind anyway, because my own habits just mean I inevitably end up researching things and spoiling myself on certain bits of the story and character that honestly just doesn't really wreck the overall experience for me, because that's just how I view stories and things. I like to look into them, read on things, find out about lore, and oh boy, does Trails have a lot of lore to go into. I understand now what people mean when they say it is the One Piece of JRPGs, because holy shit. just off this first Cold Steel game alone, 60 hours in, there is so much. I was actually chatting with some pals on Discord the other day, and someone else there I know who is much deeper into Trails than I am. We just kind of discussed some elements of some surface level stuff, and we drove them path insane trying to, just tell them that surface level stuff about the series in general, which I think says a lot. But my initial impressions off of things having finished Cold Steel 1 and now moving on is that, the Cold Steel game, at the least, is it's your simple JRPG stuff. If anything, you're not hearing Trails for JRPG gameplay. No. You're here for the deep dives into the lore and the story. God, that story, good lord. Cold Steel 1 has the thing that it has to set up everything, so it's you kind of just go from place to place and learn about the characters, and then plot happens and shit, and then it ends on a cliffhanger because there's 4 games in this arc, and it has to end on something to move into the second game. Oh god. What's crazy? When you finish the final mandatory dungeon, and then there's still 2 more hours of game left to go. That's what it's like to play one of the, at least this game, and I'm assuming it's not unlike the same thing for some of the other games, where it's okay, cool, you did the last mandatory boss, okay, but there's still 2 hours of story to go, because we need to get things ready to go into the next game, and that's exactly what happened in Cold Steel 1, oh boy. Which is the entire reason why I didn't just immediately jump to Trails in the Sky. No, I was in my mode of, I need to carry on to the next bit of the story and see where this goes, because if I don't, I am going to just not feel okay with myself for not just carrying on from that cliffhanger. So I did. So I'm 6 hours into Cold Steel 1, which at this, Cold Steel 2, not Cold Steel 1, which is, considering how long these RPGs are, that's only about 1/10 of the way into the game. Oh boy, and that's with the fast forward button making things go faster when I need it to. Oh god. Why do I do this to myself? It's really funny that I'm doing this again, because last year, for anyone who's been following me since then, you would know that I was streaming Yakuza 0 through 6, basically throughout all of 2022, starting from March last year. So, which is, that was about 7 games. And this series has more than that. And I decided I'm going to play them. It's not going to be I'm just going to marathon the games. I think I'm going to take my time with this one more than I did Yakuza, which is just year-long game marathon. I still need to get back to playing Yakuza 7. I honestly, it's maybe ironic because I did actually stream the first 2-ish hours of Cold Steel 1, and then partway through, I think I decided I didn't want to stream it because I realized I don't like streaming long JRPGs because it's like, God, there's so much to do, and it's honestly not the most interesting content to stream, honestly. It's a lot of just pressing the same buttons and watching the same things happen, and then you get long story cutscenes, which is probably why I'm not gonna keep streaming Yakuza Like a Dragon, to be honest. I'm gonna keep that one to myself and just maybe talk about it as I go, I guess. But this doesn't talk about Yakuza, no, this is Trails. Okay, so let's actually talk impressions of Cold Steel 1. I do like it. Like, yeah, it's JRPG stuff, but the story is like, lord. From what I've been told by friends, the Cold Steel arc is kind of the most anime of the arcs in the Cold Steel, in the Trails subset to the Legend of Heroes games, which is maybe saying a lot, but I mean, I don't dislike it. I like the characters. I think Class 7 is fun. I like the additions to it. I'm not going to spoil anything, but good lord, the way the plot twists go, I'm just like, yeah, I read on it, I saw it coming, but seeing these plot twists develop and these scenes get revealed made it so much cooler for me, because, like, yeah, I knew it going in. I knew what I was in for. But also, I just kind of enjoy seeing it happen, even if I know it's coming. Because, like, yeah, you know, I've mentioned, I probably haven't spoken of it before because I've only made 2 anime rants, so what the hell am I saying? But, nah, I'm the kind of guy that, like, yeah, I'll look into a story, I'll read ahead, I'll spoil myself a bit, but I'm gonna enjoy getting to that point of spoiler where I'm like, huh, okay, I wonder what the surrounding context of that is and how it even develops and gets there, and oh boy, does Trails make that payoff amazing. I mean, okay, it's maybe not the best. I wouldn't say it's like a, Michelin star, 10 out of 10, glorious dish story. It's a simple JRPG story. If anything, it's pretty middle of the road, I'd say. But, you know, sometimes something that's middle of the road is perfectly fine and acceptable, and it has its moments. I mean, shit, I've busted my gut laughing at moments in this game. I've felt the tugs of the heartstrings at some of the moments. I haven't, like, openly cried yet, like I have in the Yakuza games, which, oh boy, I have the clips of that as proof of what Yakuza does to me, but, you know, this is a good, digestible thing where I can drive my friends crazy because I'm a lore gremlin, and oh boy, I like looking into lore too much, and then I just have this encyclopedic idea of it in my head, and I'm like, let me bust out my 10-page notebook where I explain the lore of the series to you in depth and how the timeline works and all this other shit. The things I do to mess with my friends. But yeah, no, this is a series that, like, yeah, I started with a pretty safe entry with Cold Steel 1, and like, hey, you know, I like RPGs that occasionally throw out challenges, and oh boy, Cold Steel certainly has done that. So, yeah, this is going to be a thing I'll probably occasionally report on, probably whenever I finish a game. So, yeah, Cold Steel 1 thoughts, just, I enjoy it. Yeah, you know, it's a lot of setup, that's what Cold Steel 1 has been, just a lot of setup for things that are going to happen later, and, I'll be seeing how that goes throughout the rest of Cold Steel 2. And then after that, probably jump over to the Sky games and do that, and also because now they're both available to cross-build games. This is probably the weirdest way I could be playing this series, but hey, you know what, it is what it is. Also, Reverie comes out in a couple of months by the time I'm posting this, so there's that to look forward to as well. When I get to it in several months, because I'm playing all those other games first. Oh boy, the things I decide to do to myself. Pain. Actual pain. Anyway, that's just my late ramblings on this stuff. It's not an in-depth thing, just a quick little rambling thought process of where I've been so far. So, hey, you know, if it seems like I'm floundering a bit when I'm streaming, it's probably because I've been playing a Cold Steel game for a couple hours beforehand. Oh boy, the things I do with my free time. Well, anyway, till the next video, you know, whatever random ass thing I'll set to post next. Maybe a reaction along with the stream. I'll probably record one of those next. Yeah.